Alright, so... Whew, excuse me, I don't know what that is. Hi everyone. I thank you for your feedback and realize that my last Eras video was sort of lackluster in both energy and interest. So, I'm redoing it. Also, I finally figured out what to name the new era. So let's go to it, okay? First era. Now, just to clear this up, a lot of people just talk about the golden generation and the platinum era and modern era, I guess. But no one's quite clear on where things begin and where things end and all that stuff. So I'm clearing that up right now. First era is the classic era. It gets lumped in with the golden generation because they're much older. The golden generation everyone sees is like the first generation to the fourth generation or the fifth generation. But I see it as a group of songs rather than the members that were in it. So like I said, the first generation is the classic era. The classic era consists of the forming of Morning Musume up until Furusato. Furusato is the last of the slow, sort of melodic, somberish songs that the classic era is known for. They do much more vocal stuff than anything else. Then it leads into the second era, which is the golden generation. The golden generation starts with Love Machine and ends with The Manpower. This is where Morning Musume hit the height of their popularity, where they became well known by everyone. The classic era, they had a pretty good set, but they were sort of like petering and making sort of steady sales. Love Machine was their first big dance hit, and the first song where they had actual big dance moves. They had a couple, like they were working towards becoming more of a dancing group, starting with their second single and moving on through, but there were no big dances until Love Machine, and they just continued on that path. So it lasts from Love Machine until the Manpower, which is when Kaori Ida leaves. That's sort of like the cutoff point. After that comes the Miracle Era, which I nicknamed the Miracle Era because there's such a big focus on Koharu, who came in the second single. It goes from Osaka Koi no Uta until Kanashimi Twilight. So until, like, when Kaori leaves until Hitomi leaves. That's when it all happens. I also call it the Miracle Era because Morning Musume's sales were nowhere near what they were in the golden generation. Their songs weren't selling as big. The members all that everyone loved had already left, so the group was much smaller, and all of the people that everyone knew of, all the people that everyone followed had gone, and they're like, okay, Abe's gone, and the twins are gone, and Rika's gone, and who else? Why should we watch? And it's really sad, because they did have some pretty good I'm not saying their songs are like bad in that era, but they're not as good as they were in the previous era, or they will be in the following era. Except for a couple, because I love me some Kanashimi Twilight, Arui too. Oh, and Ega Yes New. I really love that song. Anyway, then we get into the Platinum Era, which is the fourth era. The Platinum Era is very distinguished, and you can tell it's the Platinum Era because Lin Lin and Junjun are in it. As long as those two pandas are in the group, it's the Platinum Era. The Platinum Era's distinguishable features, aside from those two, is that the leads, or the anchors, are all Ai Takahashi and Reina Tanaka. The duo that I've dubbed the Tanaka-Hashi Juggernaut, because they take over everything, and they just run everything over. Not saying it's bad, but we barely ever get to see the 8th generation during this time. Or anyone that's not those two, with like a little peak of Eri and a peak of Risa and a peak of Koharu. But the 8th generation sort of got boned in this video. And Sayu. Sayu gets like random lines in this era. Like, she doesn't get whole lines, she gets like after that comes the rebirth era, the 5th era. This is after the triple graduation, and they've been going with the same members for so long. Like, Ai Takahashi and Risa have been in the group for like 9-10 years at this point. And it's time to breathe new life into the group. So we get the 9th generation and the 10th generation in quick succession. Usually it takes like a year or so. Those two came in about 5 months apart. And a bunch of people left. Like, after the triple graduation, then I left, and then Risa and Aika left. So a lot of people left in one big swoosh. So that goes from Majida Ska until Renai Hunter. When the 9th generation comes in until Risa leaves, that's the rebirth era. The 6th and the current era is the Sayu era. Everything is sparkly, everything is super, like, coordinated dances. Like, they do a lot of hand signals and a lot of, like, formations with their arms and everything. And that's one of the distinguishing points. Another thing about the songs that you can tell that it's the Sayu era is that they're all marked with, like, sort of her trademark, which is sad. It shouldn't be her trademark, but it is. But they're all super auto-tuned. I mean, they started using auto-tune earlier on Sayu's voice, and her voice, yes, it sounds freaking amazing when it's paired with auto-tune because she's got such an odd voice. But at the same time, it's like, give us a break. We want to hear their actual voices. But the songs are so freaking good. I love Brainstorming, and I love this new single. Oh my god. I need to listen to it more often, though. So that's it. Those are the 6 eras. And hope you guys enjoyed this a whole lot more than you like. It's still just as long. Whatever. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.